Hello everyone. I would like to welcome all of you to my channel, that is B. Ananda Kumar. So previous class ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಿ ಯು ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದಾರಲ್ಲ ಟು ಮಾಡಲ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ 1 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಓನ್ಲಿ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಈ ದಿನ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಬಿ. ಸೊ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಓನ್ಲಿ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಇದು ಕೂಡ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ಕೋರಿಂಗ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಡಿಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ದಿರಾ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So this is model question paper 1 part 2. So first question ಹೇಗಿದೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. ನೋಡಿ, answer any 5 of the following. 8 questions ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ only 5 questions ನಾವು ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. State and explain the Coulomb's law. So ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, state and explain Coulomb's law. So what is the statement? The magnitude of force of attraction or repulsion between 2-point charges at rest is directly proportional to product of magnitude of 2-point charges and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. So that is the statement of Coulomb's inverse square law. Okay, statement is very important. So the magnitude of force of attraction, or repulsion, between 2-point charges, at rest, okay, is directly proportional to the product of magnitude of 2-point charges, magnitude of 2-point charges, and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. So this is a statement of the Coulomb's inverse square law. The magnitude of force of attraction or repulsion between 2-point charges at rest is directly proportional to product of magnitude of 2-point charges and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. The explanation is very simple. Let us consider here the 2-point charges. So what is the meaning of point charges? The charges whose size is very small with respect to their separation. Let us consider here 2-point charges plus Q1 and plus Q2. So point charges means charges whose size is very small with respect to their separation. Let us consider here R is the separation between the 2-point charges. Okay, so R is the separation between the 2-point charges. Q1, Q2 are point charges, so R is the separation between 2-point charges. So according to Coulomb's inverse square law, the first part of the statement says the magnitude of force of attraction or repulsion between 2-point charges at rest is directly proportional to the product of magnitude of 2-point charges. So this is according to the first part of the statement. And according to the second part of the statement, that is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. That is inversely proportional to square of distance between them. So remove the proportionality. So we will get the proportionality constant here. So this F is equal to K Q1 Q2 divided by R square. So K is the Coulomb's constant, that is also called the electrostatic force constant. What is the meaning of K? That is called Coulomb's constant. So actually Coulomb's constant depends on the medium existing between 2 point charges and also the system of units used. Okay, so in SI system, for free space, in SI system for free space, so the value of K is 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Epsilon naught is called absolute permittivity of the medium. So what is the meaning of absolute permittivity? Absolute permittivity of free space. Actually, epsilon naught is called absolute permittivity of free space. Okay, that means ability of free space to allow the electric field lines to pass through it. Epsilon is called absolute permittivity of the medium. Epsilon naught is called absolute permittivity of free space. Okay, so substitute this value in this equation. So finally, we will get expression for the Coulomb's inverse square law. F is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R square. So this is the mathematical expression for Coulomb's inverse square law. Okay. So ಇದು exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ only mathematical expression ಏನಾದರೂ 2 mark ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನೀವು ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಟ್ ನೆಸೆಸರಿ, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ನೀವು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್. ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಕೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ನೀವು ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಎಪ್ಸಿಲಾನ್ ನಾಟ್ is called absolute permittivity of free space. Q1 Q2 are point charges or is the separation between 2 point charges. Okay. Next question discuss mana. This is question number 12. Write the relation between electric field and potential. A point charge plus Q is placed at point O as shown in figure. Is the potential difference? Is the potential difference VA minus VB positive or negative or zero? Okay. So ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ potential difference between 2 points ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಸಾಕು. So actually work done in moving unit positive test charge from infinity to point is much greater as compared to work done in moving unit positive test charge from infinity to point B. Because electric potential at a point is measured by work done in moving unit positive test charge from infinity to that point against electric force of the field. So here electric potential at point A is much greater as compared to electric potential at point B. So the potential difference between 2 points, and right, actually VA minus VB there. So VA is more than VB a lot. So that is why VA minus VB positive. So what is the relation connecting between electric field and electric potential? But the answer only 2 points. Each point 1 mark irutte. Istu nanu ಏನು ಬರೀತಾ ಇದೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ನೀವು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. E is equal to minus dV divided by dr. Okay, so this is the relation connecting between electric field and electric potential. Actually negative sign indicates electric potential is decreases in the direction of electric field. So the value of V decreases, electric potential decreases in the direction of electric field. That is the significance of negative sign. dV divided by dr is called actually the potential gradient. That means the rate of change of potential with respect to distance. That is called the potential gradient. Okay, so this is a relation connecting between electric field and electric potential. E is equal to minus dV divided by dr. And so ಇವಾಗ ಈ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಗಲೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಎ ಏನಿದೆ, so that is actually here more than electric potential at point B. Okay, so that is why VA minus VB. Okay, so the potential difference here VA minus VB. VA minus VB in the VA is more than VB there, right? So VA minus VB, that is positive. Okay, what is this? Positive. ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಸಿಂಬಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಈ ತರ ಕೂಡ ಬರೆಯಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, VA minus VB is positive. ಸರಿನಾ? ಸೊ ಎಷ್ಟು ನೀವು ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. Okay, so next question discuss ಮಾಡೋಣ. The next one, define the terms drift speed and mobility of an electron in a conductor. Okay, so drift speed and drift velocity ಇದು current electricity chapter ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So drift velocity ಅಂದ್ರೆ average velocity with which free electrons in a conductor get drifted in a direction opposite to the direction of applied electric field. So that is the definition of drift velocity. Okay, so ಒಂದು ಸಿಲಿಂಡ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಬ್ಯಾಟರಿಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಸೆಟಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಕ್ರಾಸ್ ದ ಎಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್. ಸೊ ಫ್ರೀ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ that will get experience force, that is because of electric field. So electric field ಇಂದ so electrons ಮೇಲೆ force experience ಆಗಿ accelerate ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ drift ಆಗುತ್ತೆ in a direction opposite to the direction of applied field. So drift velocity means average velocity. What is the meaning of drift velocity? That is the average velocity with which free electrons in a conductor get drifted in a direction opposite to the direction of applied electric field. Opposite to the direction of applied electric field. So this is the definition of drift velocity, average velocity with which free electrons in a conductor get drifted in a direction opposite to the direction of applied electric field. So is called the drift velocity. Okay, so mathematical expression for drift velocity ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. So that is VD is equal to E tau divided by M. So this is a mathematical expression for drift velocity. So VD is equal to mu E ಅಂತ ನಾವು ತಗೊಂತೀವಿ. Mu ಅಂದ್ರೆ mobility. So mobility, that is the ratio of drift velocity of current carrier to the applied electric field. So what is the meaning of mobility? So mobility andre meaning in, so mobility, that is the ratio. Okay, mobility is a ratio, the ratio of drift velocity of current carrier, the ratio of drift velocity of current carrier to the applied electric field. Drift velocity of current carrier to the applied electric field. The ratio of drift velocity of current carrier to the applied electric field. So that is called mobility. So mobility is a ratio of drift velocity of current carrier to the applied electric field. So what is the meaning of drift velocity? The drift velocity means average velocity with which the free electrons in a conductor, so that is get drifted in a direction opposite to the direction of applied electric field. What is the meaning of mobility? The ratio of drift velocity of current carrier to the applied electric field. So definitions, general practice ಮಾಡಿ. So these are very simple definitions. Okay. Next question ಹೋಗೋಣ. So explain how galvanometer can be converted to an ammeter. So ಒಂದು galvanometer ನಾವು ammeter ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ so very high resistance, very low resistance, that is actually called shunt, that must be connected in parallel with the galvanometer. Is it right? ಓಕೆ ಗ್ಯಾಲ್ವನೋಮೀಟರ್ ನ ವೋಲ್ಟ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೈ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಗ್ಯಾಲ್ವನೋಮೀಟರ್ ಗೆ ನಾವು ಸಿರೀಸ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ರೈಟ್? ಗ್ಯಾಲ್ವನೋಮೀಟರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇಂಟು voltmeter by connecting very high resistance in series with galvanometer. So how do you convert galvanometer into voltmeter? Okay, the galvanometer can be converted into voltmeter by connecting very high resistance in series with the galvanometer. How do you convert galvanometer into ammeter? Okay, so by connecting very small resistance, that is called shunt, that must be connected in parallel with the galvanometer. Correct? So galvanometer can be converted into ammeter by connecting a very small resistance, so that must be connected in parallel, with the galvanometer. Okay, so this is a very small resistor that is called shunt, that must be connected in parallel with galvanometer. So then the galvanometer, that is converted into ammeter. So how do you convert galvanometer to an ammeter? By connecting a very small resistance, it is called shunt, that must be connected in parallel with the galvanometer. Okay, a galvanometer can be converted into ammeter by connecting into an ammeter by connecting a very small resistance, called shunt. That is called very small resistance is called shunt. Must be connected. Galvanometer can be converted into an ammeter by connecting very small resistance called shunt. Must be connected in parallel with the galvanometer. Okay, galvanometer can be converted into ammeter by connecting a very small resistance called shunt. It must be connected in parallel with the galvanometer. So actually here let us consider the main current, that is I. It is divided into two parts. One is IS, that is current flowing through shunt, and another one is IG, that is current flowing through the galvanometer. Okay, so I is here the main current that is split into two parts. One is current flowing through shunt, and another one is current flowing through the galvanometer. So actually, this is current divider circuit. So here the main current I is exactly equal to IS plus IG. So parallel combinationally current different iರುತ್ತೆ, potential difference across shunt, potential difference across galvanometer same iರುತ್ತೆ. So main current that is equal to ನೋಡಿ actually this ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು Kirchhoff's junction rule apply ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Sum of currents entering the junction is equal to sum of currents leaving the junction. ಸರಿನಾ? I is equal to IS plus IG. So IS value, what is the value of IS? IS is I minus IG. And here the potential difference across a shunt, that is equal to potential difference across the galvanometer. Potential difference across shunt, according to Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So VS andre IS into S ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Current flowing to shunt into shunt resistance, that is equal to VG andre current flowing to galvanometer. The galvanometer shows full scale deflection into the galvanometer resistance. So S is equal to IGG divided by IS. So what is the meaning of IS? IS is I minus IG. So S is equal to IGG divided by I minus IG. So that is the mathematical expression for shunt. So how do you convert galvanometer into ammeter? By connecting a very low resistance, small resistance, that is called shunt, must be connected in parallel with the galvanometer. So this is the mathematical expression for shunt. Okay. So next question. Discuss math. So write the expression for magnetic field inside a solenoid. So actually magnetic field inside solenoid, the magnetic field inside toroid, both are same, is it not? The magnetic field inside the solenoid is B is equal to mu naught Ni. So this is for air core. This is for air core current carrying solenoid. Okay. For air core current carrying solenoid, B is equal to mu naught Ni ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So for iron core current carrying solenoid andre, so the magnetic field B is equal to mu Ni ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So ಇವೆರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕಾದರೂ ನೀವು ಬರೀಬಹುದು. For air core current carrying solenoid, B is equal to mu naught Ni. So for iron core current carrying solenoid, so B is equal to mu Ni. Okay, mu andre that is permeability, absolute permeability of the medium. So ability of medium to allow the magnetic field to pass through it. So that is the meaning of absolute permeability of the medium. Correct? So the terms now need to explain ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So where here, what is the meaning of mu naught? Mu naught is absolute permeability. Absolute permeability. Absolute permeability of free space. Free space, the ability of free space to allow the magnetic field lines to pass through it. So N means number of turns per unit length. Number of turns per unit length of the solenoid. So solenoid means the insulated copper wire. So that is wood in the form of helical path. So what is the meaning of solenoid? Insulated copper wire. It is insulated copper wire, so that is wound in the form of helical path. Okay, so n under number of turns per unit length of the solenoid. So mu naught is absolute permeability of free space. That means ability of free space to allow the magnetic field lines to pass through it. And I means the current flowing through the solenoid. Okay, so B is the magnetic field inside the current carrying solenoid. So here B is magnetic field inside air core solenoid. Okay, air core current carrying solenoid. So 2 mark against ಮಾತ್ರ ಬರೆದರೆ ಸಾಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Particular ಆಗಿ suppose ಏನಾದರೂ write the magnetic field inside iron core current carrying solenoid ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಸೊ ಈ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದೊಂದು ಬರೆದರೆ ಸಾಕು ನೀವು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಸಾಲಿನಾಯ್ಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏರ್ ಕೋರ್ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸೊ ಬಿ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಮ್ಯೂ ನಾಟ್ ಎನ್ ಐ. ಸೊ ಈ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಈವನ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ ಟೊರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಇದೇ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸರಿನಾ? Go to the next question. Define magnetic dip and declination. So ಈ two statements ಏನಿದೆ so that is very important. Number of times exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡಿಪ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಬಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಬಿ ಎಚ್ ಆಟ್ ದ ಗಿವನ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ದ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಬೈ Earth's magnetic field with horizontal contained in the magnetic meridian. So clear cut irade. Okay, so magnetic dip at a place, magnetic dip at a place is defined as angle made by Earth's magnetic field. Angle made by Earth's magnetic field with horizontal. Angle made by Earth's magnetic field with horizontal contained in a magnetic meridian. Angle made by Earth's magnetic field with horizontal contained in a magnetic meridian. Okay, so that is the meaning of dip, or simply the angle. So each statement ನಿಮಗೆ ಫ್ಲಾಶ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು angle between okay BE the Earth's magnetic field and BH the horizontal component contained in the magnetic meridian. Simply angle between B and BH ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರು ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. So this is actually the particular definition. Magnetic dip at a place is defined as angle made by Earth's magnetic field with horizontal contained in a magnetic meridian. So what is the meaning of declination? So declination andre so that is actually the angle between magnetic meridian and geographic meridian. Declination. What is the meaning of declination? Declination at a place is defined as angle between magnetic meridian and geographic meridian. Angle between magnetic meridian and geographic meridian. Okay, at that place. Okay, declination of the place is defined as simply the angle between magnetic meridian and geographic meridian at that place. Okay, simply magnetic angle between magnetic meridian and geographic meridian. Okay, right. So next question discuss manner. This is question number 17. Nodi, 2 mark ali very simple problem ಇದೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. A pair of adjacent coils has mutual inductance of 1.5 Henry. If the current in one coil changes from 0 to 20 ampere in 0.5 seconds, what is the change of flux linkage with the other coil? So, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು Faraday's the second law of electromagnetic induction use ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. EMF induced in secondary coil is equal to rate of change of magnetic flux in the secondary coil d phi s divided by dt. But we know that phi s is equal to m into so ip. Mutual inductance and the phenomenon of EMF induced in the secondary coil due to rate of change of current flowing to primary coil. Is it not? So phi s is equal to m into ip. So we substitute madi, m is constant, take it as outside. So es is equal to m into dip divided by dt. So what is given here? So that is very important. So m value is given. So what is the value of m? M value is 1.5 Henry. M value is 1.5 Henry, and your current changes from 0 to 20 ampere. 0 to 20 ampere. So the change in current, really BIP. Now 20 minus 0, 20 ampere and so this is change in current, and change in time dt is also given, so that is 0.5 seconds. What is given namge clear ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು. So ಇದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು EMF induced in secondary coil find out ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ magnetic flux linkage with the secondary coil calculate ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. So the EMF induced in the secondary coil. So M is 1.5, 1.5 and 3 by 2 and the choose mark corner. Okay. DIP is 20, right? DT is 0.5 and that is 5 into 10 power minus 1. So the 2 ones up, 2 tens are cancelled out, 5 ones up, 2 up, 3 into 2, 6. So 6 into 10 power minus 1 numerator shift ಮಾಡಿ 10 power plus 1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So 6 into 10 and 60 volt baratte. So this is EMF induced in the secondary coil, but we want the magnetic flux linkage. Namge ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು magnetic flux linkage, correct? So magnetic flux linkage d phi s. Okay, this is actually the first step. First step ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So ಇದಕ್ಕೆ 1 mark ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So ಇದಕ್ಕೆ 1 mark ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So d phi s is equal to es into dt. So EMF induced in secondary coil, that is 60. Dt is 0.5. So that is 5 into 10 power minus 1. Okay. Sorry now. 60 into 5, 10 power minus 1 denominator shift ಮಾಡಿ 10 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ 0 0 cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ 6 into 5 is 30. Okay, so magnetic flux linked with the coil is 30. So what is the unit of magnetic flux? That is Weber. Unit of magnetic flux is Weber. Sarina, right? 30 Weber. So EMF is 60 volt. EMF induced in the coil is 60 volt. So this is 2 mark numerical. So this is question number 70. Okay, last question. Another question here. ಅಲ್ಲಿ part finish ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. What is a wavefront? What is a wavefront? Name the type of wavefront observed from distant point source. Okay, at small distance from point source, we will get spherical wavefront. Already at large distance from point source, we will get a plane wavefront. Okay, so second part gave answer to plane wavefront. Okay, plane wavefront. Name the type of wavefront observed from distant point source. Distant point source. So distant point source andre namage barodenu plane wavefront. Sarina? Okay. So what is the meaning of wavefront? The locus of all points which are in same state of vibration. The continuous locus of vibrating particles which are in the same state of vibration. Simply a surface of constant phase, that is also called the wavefront. Okay, the locus of all points, locus of all points which are in same state of vibration. Locus of all points which are in same state of vibration is called wavefront. Or simply a surface of constant phase. Surface of constant phase. This is very simple statement. A surface of constant phase is called wavefront. It's called wavefront. Or the continuous locus of vibrating particles which are in the same state of vibration, that is also called wavefront. So at a large distance from point source we will get plane wavefront. At small distance from point source we will get a spherical wavefront. But we name the type of wavefront observed from distant point source and that. So that is why we will get here plane wavefront. Okay, so getting the complete questions finish ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರಿನಾ? So next class only 3 mark questions discuss ಮಾಡೋಣ. Okay, thank you.